Hey everyone, and welcome back to Rocks Fall, your home for the best game reviews, creator interviews, and actual play in the podcasting world. I'm your host, Devon, and this week we're talking about City of Mist from Amit, Moshe, and Son of Oak Studios. This system uses a slightly revised Powered by the Apocalypse system. Powered by the Apocalypse was a system created in 2010 by a creator named D. Vincent Baker for the game Apocalypse World. If you can find a copy of that game for under $100, grab it. It's marvelous. The Powered by the Apocalypse system is built around collaboration. It allows the players to take what are called moves during the game and during combat that move the game forward in a cinematic and collaborative way. City of Mist is no different. Sure, there are tweaks to the system here and there, but the core concept of this cinematic collaborative gameplay is the core of the game. So the players make a move and roll some dice and then works with the MC, that's this system's version of a GM or a DM, and the player characters determine the outcome. Pretty simple. So I want to talk a bit about character creation as well. First off, for printable materials like character cards, go to the game's website, and I'm going to link that in the description tag, and download the PDF. They're pretty cool. Every character gets one character card and 4 theme cards to use. So I'll talk a little bit about each separately then. So, character cards. The character card contains all the demographic data of your character from the book. This includes name, mythos, logos, cover identity, or mundane persona, as the book calls it, your crew, which are the other player characters, and any story tags that your character is attached to. The build-up meter, where you track experience points, moments of evolution, which are additional powers you get upon filling up your build-up bar, and any nemesis you have. Now, there's some concepts here that I'll talk about. I'm going to explain them in a little bit, but keep that in mind. So mythos, logos, all that stuff. Theme cards. So based on the given themes presented in this book, you pick 4 and customize them to your character. These are the motivations, weaknesses, and drives behind the concept of your character. Your crew, what this game calls the party, also gets a theme. This will essentially let you form anything from a street gang to a superhero squad to even a pantheon of gods, which is pretty cool. From there, you start your 0 session and play the game. The art in this book is just so good. It's just, I can't, that's the only way to describe it. It's just so good. It not only reflects the setting, but it enhances it. And unlike other core books I've read where art is really only on the cover and then placed sporadically throughout the rest of the book that varies in quality, this book is packed with full color artwork throughout the entire book. I try to read core books for the first time from cover to cover, and in my first read through I was consistently surprised by the quality of the art that I would happen upon as I read it. And I'm not the only one that thinks so. This book actually won a gold award for best interior art at the 2018 ENnie Awards during Gen Con this past weekend. So, congrats, guys. You truly deserve this award. Like most Powered by the Apocalypse systems, the gameplay is smooth and collaborative. It focuses on cinematic collaboration between players and the MC. It's very rules light, but still has enough substance to keep players who thrive in worlds with rules interested, if not entirely comfortable. I'll go into it more in a bit, but the game does have a lot of lore to deal with when playing, so it makes it a bit crunchier than your typical Powered by the Apocalypse system, but it's still a very smooth game. This game doesn't just have a setting, it's got a mythology. The game is so dense, lore-wise, that the possibilities of gameplay are near limitless. There are boundaries, so it isn't as boundless as, say, Cosmic Patrol, but in one book, it easily does what it takes several 5e lore books to do. Seriously, no kidding. You play as an awakened sleeper. Sleepers are your average humans, too focused or distracted by their own stuff to really see what's going on in the world around them. This is worsened by the Mist, an ever-present, invisible, semi-intelligent force that covers everything in a metaphorical fog. What's even scarier about this force is that it can influence events to keep the sleepers from really seeing the world around them. So, what is it that the Mist is attempting to keep hidden, you might ask? Well, mythos. Mythos are awakened sleepers who receive powers from legends. The rift in the Mist that allows these people to gain powers also allows them to see what's really going on around them. The world of City of Mist is full of magic, legends, and gods, but the Mist hides it from the average person. Once awakened, the mythos can locate other mythos around them and either band with them for a common goal or fight them to stop their evil machinations. There are 39 mythos for you to choose from in the core book, but an ingenious enough homebrewer can easily create other legends and myths to play with in these games' parameters. So currently there are no official supplements that I could find for this set, which I'm reviewing the first edition. And that made me incredibly sad because it's such a great system. But then I ran across a Facebook post by Amit about a launch event for the revised core set and additional supplements. The new Kickstarter is called City of Mist, Knights of Paintown, and it includes options to get the revised core book, an MC toolkit book, an expansion called Shadows and Showdowns, and the Knights of Paintown storybook. You should definitely go back this because not only are these books going to be amazing, but you can get all 4 of them for a steal during the Kickstarter. And quite frankly, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to get these books after the Kickstarter's over in just about 15 days. I'll include a link to the Kickstarter in the show notes too. Back this as soon as possible because last check, they still needed about $20,000 to reach their goal. So to wrap up, pros. It's an easy system, collaborative gameplay, less emphasis on a GM, and more emphasis on cinematic gameplay. Cons. Honestly, I couldn't really find anything that sticks out to me as a con. The only consideration you should take if thinking of picking up this game is whether or not you care if a system is rules light or rules heavy. Because, like I said before, and like all Powered by the Apocalypse games, the system's pretty rules light, with an emphasis on player cooperation and coordination with the MC, instead of players just interacting with the world the GM creates. Overall, the game is just magnificent. To try and sum it up in this review, it doesn't really do it justice, so please go get a copy and start reading the book. You will fall in love with this setting and this system. I've gone by a number rating system for the last 2 reviews, but I'm not going to do that anymore. It just doesn't feel right for this podcast. So I'll just leave you with this. I've searched far and wide for a system that will allow me to play as a powered character in a way that doesn't force me to perform, calculus in determining powers and their effects on the world around them. And this book is that system. So go be a hero, go be a villain, go be a legend, and have fun. So some end notes. Like I said before, there's currently a Kickstarter going on for the revised core book and new supplements. I'll link the Kickstarter in the description as well as all the contact info and social media stuff for City of Mist. Thank you all so much for listening. And don't turn the podcast off just yet, as I have a special guest on next. His name is Patrick, and he reviews all sorts of board games and RPGs over at Non-Zero Sum Games. This week, he's giving a review of an awesome game from a creator local to the city I live in. Her name is Ashley Warren, and she's a best-selling author on DM's Guild who's written a solo adventure for 5e Systems called The Executioner's Daughter. It's up on DM's Guild right now, and I'll include a link to that in the description as well. Without further ado, take it away, Patrick.
Hey guys, this is Patrick from NZS Games, and I'm here with the inaugural segment of Non-Zero Summary. For this installment, I want to tell you about The Executioner's Daughter. This is a solo Dungeons & Dragons module written by best-selling author Ashley Warren. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the concept, solo D&D is where you sit down with a module and maybe even a good drink and put yourself through an adventure. No dungeon master required. If you're familiar with the Choose Your Own Adventure books, then you already know how to play. So why is Ashley Warren's module so good? Well, mostly it's because her writing is top-notch. When I sat down to read through it, I realized that my dice were almost not necessary. Almost. When the adventure opens, you are among a crowd that has gathered in the Plaza of the Sun. Everyone is eager to find out who this year's tribute to the Platinum Dragon will be. However, this year's named tribute shocks everyone. After all, sacrificing royalty is unprecedented. Anxiety sweeps over the crowd that has already grown slightly agitated from both the revelation and the cramped conditions in the plaza. Finally, under mild duress, the priests agree to name a second daughter of Soldra to stand in the first one's place. The executioner's daughter accepts their decision. However, the executioner is movably upset and cannot accompany his own daughter to Gara's Peak. He asks that someone else take her to her doom. He will have no part in feeding her to the dragons that would otherwise plague the city. This is where you come in. Grab your dice and a third-level character. If you agree to escort her, continue reading below. If you decide she's as good as dragon food, then you should skip to page 10. You can find The Executioner's Daughter on DM's Guild, and you can find my review of it on nonzerosumgames.com. Talk to you guys next time.
So again, thank you all for listening. You can find links to all of Patrick's work, as well as a link to Ashley's work in the description tag. And one last thing. Are you a creator wanting to get your work out to reviewers? We have a P.O. box just for that. If you would like your work considered for review on this show, send us a sample at Rocksfall, care of Devon Trube, P.O. Box 61162, Reno, Nevada, 89506. I'll include the P.O. Box in the description tag as well, and I appreciate any submissions that I get from there. If you have a PDF that you'd like considered for review, you can shoot us an email over at rocksfallpod@gmail.com. Thank you, everyone, and happy gaming.